Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the SHI tournament featuring Panic Restaurant. This is a floater semifinal, JSR versus Puke 7 Buzz. The winner floats to the upper deck. The loser stays in the cesspool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot on the line here. It's whether you get to be an elite player or if you're just one of those guys that nobody really respects in this tournament. But we're off and running.
Well, there is at least 8 people we don't respect, both these players included, but we're going to have to respect one of them going forward. You've seen them play before. You've seen their times on Speedruns Live for the races and speedrun.com for the PBs. Who do you think is going to have the edge in this one?
I mean, they're both pretty solid, pretty similar from what I remember correctly. But if I had to choose one out of these two, I'm gonna go with Puke 7 because I think he had the better record. I don't know if he went 3-0 or not.
He did, yes.
Yeah, 3-0. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
And
but JSR probably went 3-0 too, right?
Oh, he lost a really close one to Nierm, I think.
Okay.
By like 10 seconds or whatever it was. I can pull that fact up in a little bit. We normally never talk about level 1 because it's so quick, but can anything happen in level 1 that would slow people up?
I mean, it's really hard to. We've seen a lot of people dying to the boss and things like that. But I mean, it's as straightforward as it gets. It basically just it's there to show you, hey, there's things, and you hit them with your pan. Like, I really think that's why they put that level there.
Nierm beat...
it's like a tutorial level.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nierm beat JSR 1636 to 1648, so it was a 12-second loss for JSR. Speaking of losing, JSR just loses a life right there.
Yeah, not terribly costly because he did it very quick after a checkpoint, which is one of the more important things here. If you do die in this game, you want to be by a checkpoint.
He also misses the cycle on the elevator, and that might be due to the checkpoint. I know that BGT has studied this game pretty well. He was in the winner's bracket. He knows a lot about this game. And he says that when you die, things get off cycle, like popsicles and elevators and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're used to things, going normally and doing it at the pace that you're used to, that definitely gets thrown off because the global timer will reset itself.
As one thing I saw JSR do there, I'm sorry to cut you off, was he just walked under a chandelier without waiting. And I swear I've seen, even in the world record runs, everyone waits for every chandelier.
Yeah, that might have something to do with taking the death.
Could be.
Not having to wait there because of it. Even with that death and a little bit of backtracking there, I'd still, JSR is probably only about 6 seconds behind right now.
And they're on the same checkpoint, and that's always important to note because if you do die, you go back to the beginning of the checkpoint. So lead changes can happen at any death if you just manage to keep pace with your opponent.
Yeah, that section JSR just went through when you're saying with the global timer getting off, that the pattern on those little pudding platters definitely changed because of that death.
Cup of mousse.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people say flan or whatever, but I don't even know what that means. Those California guys say flan.
Those people should get punched in the face.
Yeah, I agree. They eat their flan with a fork, probably.
And like squid eggs or whatever it is that they put on the faux grass, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, exactly.
JSR is playing the slot machine. He puts 1 coin in it.
Wow, only 1 line. I mean, if you're gonna play, you gotta play the 5 lines. As far as I'm concerned.
Let me tell you something about Vegas guys and betting. They don't do it, and they don't know how to do it. They live in Vegas, but they stay the hell away from the casinos. It's quite possible he doesn't know how slot machines really work, or he was just.
Is that where he lives?
I believe in the area, yeah.
Wow.
But it might have been a possibility of he was just mashing to get through the, whatever, try to do it faster.
Yeah, that's more likely that he thought he hit select and didn't.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's not like he went and did a mini game or something. He just did 1 line, but again, you might as well just do 5 at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not a big slot player, but yeah, you got to do at least 5 lines.
You got to do max lines because you can't leave anything on the board.
I mean, I've heard different stories from people, but again, I don't trust slots. They're kind of
those are superstition things of people not oh, you only play this machine. You put in 1 quarter first, then 2 quarters, then 3 quarters, and then if you win, you back it down to 1. No, those are superstition people. They're not odds people.
I mean, if you put $5 in a kitty glitter machine, you're probably going to lose that $5.
Whoa!
What? Whoa! What is going on here?
Take the egg, JSR, in a final, like everything on the line here, and he's playing slot machines and mini games.
Yeah, what kind of is this, like posturing? Is this like confidence? Oh, okay. He's trying to do it for the skip ahead.
Yeah, he grabs the bomb as soon as he can. The second drop was a bomb, and that's going to place him on the conveyor belts. It skips over a whole single checkpoint.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. I don't think we've seen that yet in the tournament, but I can understand it. Because it does boost you ahead just a little bit. Probably not as fast as possible, but it does reduce the chance that you're going to take any damage. And it also is a mini-game record at the same time. You know, we were always going for max, but we never talked about minimum. So 0 in the egg game is a new record.
Yeah, it is a new record set in this floater semifinal number 2. But Ryan 7... You know, poor guy. He tries to play all the mini games. He can't set the min or the max.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to do. He tried.
Look how quickly JSR caught up with that skip and a good boss fight.
Yeah, that's another part of taking that little skip section there that he did. You do get the candy before you enter the walk boss, so you're gonna have full health.
Yes, he didn't get the candy at the damage boost skip, so he was only at 3 heart containers, but like you said, there was a candy there, and it got up to 4. If you're just joining us and you're wondering why, hey, guys, you're talking about a cesspool matchup here. Well, I mean, yes, normally we don't give it the time of day, but the winner of this will be joining us in the upper deck, so I believe we're going to treat this as if it was an upper deck match.
Yeah, there is some respect required here due to the fact that they might be with us.
50%
with Larry for sure.
50%
Larry's in.
Yeah, 50% respect given to these guys. Speaking of no respect, coming up next is going to be the Sinkers final between Choke Me I Like It and Joshy D. One player has abandoned the tournament for next season, and the other player is going to be sinking down to the cesspool, so get your memes ready.
Yeah, unfortunately, Josh he's just too scared. He just can't handle it. There's not enough sweetgrass hydrosolid in the world for him.
Our Puke looks like he extended his lead a little bit here. JSR took a couple bops.
Yeah, hard to say without looking exact. I'll have a time here in a second. I would guess about 10-second difference. But again, still incredibly close. Just a couple of little mistakes can change everything in this game. All right, so that looked like I would give Puke 7 about a 17-second lead at this point.
And I think that's much greater than it was at the end of the boss, start of the level. See how Puke does.
The bomb egg strategy is probably not the best thing in the world, other than the fact that it does make it completely unlikely that you'll take a death.
I do think it caught him up. I just think he lost it on this stage somewhere, getting hit, backtracking, whatever he did. It's on his last heart right now. He's got to be careful. He gets in there though.
Yeah, wow, that's very impressive. That's pretty ballsy to get in there. I won't even do that, if I have full health. But he does it with 0 health, so.
Yeah, he got in there like Roseanne and Jackie in a bin of loose lunch meat.
Before or after they won the lottery? Oh yeah,
that had to be before, right?
Yeah, it would have to be. They don't eat lunch meat afterwards.
Before or after the shark they won the lottery. Oh no, Puke 7 takes a death in the air conditioners, the Freon unit.
And there's your lead change right there. That's all it takes. So yeah, I'd put JSR at a 4 or 5 second lead at this point. Again, that's where if you die in this game, you want to die in sections where it's not terribly costly and you don't backtrack a whole bunch.
No,
and that's one of the worst parts to die, where Puke 7 just did.
Yeah, he was almost at the checkpoint that JSR arrives at right now. And he probably would have ran into a popsicle to replenish his health. And like you said, he would have died early in this checkpoint on purpose and not lost a lot of time.
Yeah, that would be, that's your economical taking a death. You know that it's not going to backtrack you very much.
You always have to watch where you are and what your health is. You definitely don't want to try the longest of checkpoints with 1 heart when you have 5 lives sitting in the bank to get all the way to the end and have to start it all over.
All right, we got some conveyor belting and dropping down the ladders. Very, very close right now. JSR does get that little tricky, I guess we'll call it the dish jump, I guess. And looks like Puke 7 held on to the jump button just a little bit longer than he should have and ends up missing the plate because of that. Ultimately, it doesn't really lose you that much time because it's just a little bit of a quick kill on the ice cream boss. But I'd say ultimately, between the spoon strategies and the plate strategies, probably only going to lose you about a second, maybe 2.
I've never been one to do the plate strategies on the boss because I never arrived. Anytime I've actually gotten the plate, I never actually made it to the boss with the plate still.
Yeah, that's the other part about it too. You do have to make it all the way there, not take any of the damage on the way, which is that's one of the more tricky rooms in the game. That little, I mean, we just blinked and it's gone. The
cliffs
all
of
the popsicles, the spikes, the platforms.
Yeah, the cliffs of ice sanity.
Yeah, well, there you go. Man, I'm surprised that hasn't been said before. That's pretty good.
I said it a few times.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Not today. And not,
okay.
Not during the matches where normally I don't talk about the race itself, but like that one time I actually paid attention to call a race, like I said at that time. And it might have been you versus Link. Or you versus you versus BGT.
That makes sense. I wouldn't have your commentary on. A little tricky jump there in the beginning of level 6. Yep, only about pretty close. I'd say about a 10-second lead for JSR. But like I said, that little jump in the beginning, trying to hit these pumpkin heads, you might as well just wait for a second, because if you try to jump and hit them, a lot of times you'll take the damage yourself. So JSR getting the pot, doing the invulnerability. There's a really easy trick in this room that saves you about 2 seconds due to lag reduction that I learned from the world record holder. But I'm not going to tell anybody what that is until the tournament's over.
If you allow me to speculate here, it's definitely not jumping into the teacup and jumping into the spikes and letting Puke 7 take the lead.
No, that's definitely not it.
It's also probably has something to do with killing the dudes on your way instead of trying to sidestep them like JSR is doing. Fries and projectiles, it all adds up to the screen. You don't have to answer, just nod your head if I'm right.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely shaking my head.
Okay, good. So one of the things I like to do, and I see nobody else doing it, and Puke 7's not doing it either, is instead of falling here, I jump into the ceiling and get rebounded down. Like, I just don't know. Psychologically, I feel like that's faster. Everyone else falls. I jump into the ceiling and kind of get like a little bit of a velocity push down towards the ground.
I believe that is faster. That the world record holders will do that.
Now, how the hell was I 0-3? If none of these idiots know how to play the game.
If you know that one trick, that doesn't mean you did everything else right.
By the way, I ate pizza last night and this afternoon. No utensils.
None at all.
None
Not
at
even
all.
Your hands.
Yeah,
Just put your face down onto the plate.
one paper plate. Like, I don't even need to double the paper plate up because, you know, screw those people. Take the pizza, you fold it in half, you eat it. If it drips onto the plate, you kind of just, you know, mop it up with the rest of the pizza as you're eating it. No dabbing the top with a paper towel. No doubling up on your plates. That's, you know.
Yeah, dabbing the top of the paper towel just, yeah, that's weird. It makes me, I don't know. It's confusing. It doesn't make sense. JSR looking okay here as long as he doesn't. That last damage, a little bit scary, but he does get the refill and he will be good to go. So as long as Puke gets through this section okay, it should be a pretty close race. But I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna call it yet. We're into the unnecessarily long cutscene, but I'd give a 10-second lead to JSR.
Yeah, well, JSR has 4 hearts, and it's very hard to die with this boss in 4 hearts. Once you've beat him once, you kind of can beat him every other time. Where did Puke take the lead? Where did he die?
I don't think he ever got it back. Once he took that death from the freezers in 5, JSR had that lead, and it just never came back. It seemed to just stay the way it was for the rest of the match.
I thought JSR lost it when he jumped into the spikes by the teacup.
Yeah, apparently that didn't bring him back that far, or maybe Puke died at a certain section that I may have missed, but again, it just wasn't enough.
And there it is. JSR has defeated Puke. Puke's lining up a couple more shots. It looked like he got no shots on the first cycle, but he got everything else on the back end there. And there's your winner, JSR. JSR is going to move on and take on Nirm for the Floater Championship, but both players, Nirm and JSR, will be joining us in the upper deck to replace Joshy D and Choke Me I Like It. What are your feelings on that, Buzz?
You know, I hate to see him go because of sentimental value, but I also hate to see him go because of increased competition. I mean, it was always fun getting doing the selection matchup, like, oh, Choke's in my bracket. But yeah, now that kind of stuff is going to be, things are going to be different from here on out.
Yeah, it's going to get a little bit. Well, BGT is still around, so for at least one more season,
yeah.
he'll lose next season.
I mean, Angry Larry survived. Sorry, Dig Shake survived.
I did survive.
You know, so
Dig Shake got lucky and survived. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened. So
it does happen. So we'll see what happens there, but we do have another race.